I do not encourage or condone the use of tobacco or cannabis products, and if you're under the age of 18, you can go ahead and get out of here right now.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be reviewing the BIC Slim Flick lighter. I'm very excited to try this lighter, and I'm very excited to see what it's all about. It is a little bit smaller. It is slimmer, as the name is. It is Slim Flick, so it is slimmer than the normal BIC lighter, as we can see right here comparing them. It is slimmer and shorter, so it is more of a mini lighter. But yeah, today I'm going to be reviewing this lighter and giving you guys my overall impressions, along with smoking a 555 Express or a State Express Gold or whatever, and basically just seeing how well it can light a cigarette, you know what I'm saying? But I think without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the review, and let's go ahead and start taking a look at the packaging. The packaging itself is pretty simple. It says right here, BIC quality, big value kind of thing, and it just says Slim Flick up here. The packaging is obviously meant to fit 2 lighters. It's not meant to fit 1, but for this example, they put 1 lighter here, and this was a $1.40. This was a $1.40 for this lighter, which in my personal opinion is a bit much, especially when you can get a clipper lighter for $1 at like any gas station, at like anywhere, and BIC lighters are always like $1.40, $2 kind of thing. It is just kind of crazy. I do get it. It's a name brand. It is the main disposable name brand kind of thing, or disposable lighter name brand. So I get what they're doing with the pricing, but it's still a bit crazy, especially when compared to, and I just flew this over all the way over there, especially when compared to clippers. This one was about the same price. This was about $1.50. I paid for this one at a gas station. And this one no longer works. This is one of my old lighters that I just have on here for size comparison. But yeah, the back of the packaging is pretty simple as well. It just says BIC Slim Flick right here, lighter, and flick your BIC. I'm like, that does not sound child appropriate. I'm gonna be completely honest. Flick your BIC. I don't know if that sounds appropriate. I'm like, I get it, flick it, but like still, I don't know. That sounds kind of raunchy. I'm gonna be completely honest. On the back, it basically just has a bunch of warnings saying if your child catches on fire, it's not our fault. And this BIC was made in Shelton, Connecticut. I did not realize, or no, was not made in Shelton, Connecticut. It was made in France. Wow. This is very surprising. It's made in France, not made in China, which is very surprising. I'm pretty sure this clipper lighter was made in, I'm trying to find it, made in Spain. So I didn't realize, but apparently a lot of lighters, I guess, are made in Europe. But I think without further ado, y'all, I've looked at the packaging. The packaging is pretty simple. There's really not much going on. It's just a bunch of warning labels on the back and a bunch of advertising on the front. Nothing really too simple, although I do admit their graphic design on this pack is pretty interesting. I do actually quite like it, where it's got like the whole flame thing. It took me a little bit to realize this when I was taking a look at the pack. And it's got a flame right here, like a big flame kind of thing. I do actually find that very interesting, and I think that's a good little bit of design, but it's still not nearly as good as like cigarette packs in my personal opinion. I think cigarette packs reign supreme in the graphic design world, you know what I'm saying? But I think without further ado, let's go ahead and get this open. I'm just gonna press like this. Maybe that won't work. Usually that works, so let's just go ahead and get it open just like that. Just some satisfying footage right here, right? You know what I'm saying? And let's go ahead and get that out. Now, my main overall complaint with BIC lighters is the child lock kind of thing, the child protective stuff. Obviously you can get rid of it. I got rid of it on this lighter, and clippers do not come with it. So my main complaint is that it comes with the child lock that you have to remove, because otherwise it's just annoying, and you can't flick it as easily. Like with this one, I can put my finger on the center and flick it, whereas with this one, I have to be kind of towards the side kind of thing. It's very irritating, although with this small of a lighter, it's not nearly as annoying because the little rotation flint stuff, the flint is smaller, so my finger just goes around it better. I will be completely frank though, holding this lighter in my hand, overall right now, just a little bit underwhelming. I will be completely honest with y'all. It's not very ergonomic. It's kind of hard, especially with somebody. I'm 6'1". I have smallish hands for my height kind of thing. It's not really the biggest hands in the world. Somebody who has bigger hands than me will struggle to hold this lighter, although I do see what they're doing. If you have small hands, if you're a smaller person or anything like that, no offense, then this lighter will probably be for you kind of thing, because it'll just be easier for you to hold. Personally, I prefer the ergonomics of a normal BIC because I can wrap my fingers around it and it's very comfy kind of thing. Although personally, clipper lighters are the most comfy to me because this is a circle. This is not a more like an oval kind of thing. An oval is a little bit less ergonomic in my personal opinion. And for me, with hands that are this big kind of thing, that are just, they're not even that big, I'm gonna be completely frank. This is just a really small lighter. But with these kind of hands kind of thing, this is just a little bit too small, and the ergonomics are just not very good in my personal opinion. Looking at the details on the lighter though, it just says BIC on the metal right here. It says BIC right here, and this is not a sticker. This is part of the black packaging, although the barcode on the back right here, so it can be sold individually, as we see right here. So it was packaged in a packaging like this, but it can also be sold individually just like this, and they already prepared that kind of thing. It basically just has a bunch of warnings on it that just say not to let your children use it, and if your children catch on fire, it's not our fault. And on the back right here, it says made in France, 142. I don't know what that means. Is that the patent number? Let's take a look. Is that the patent number? Don't think that's the patent number. I don't know what that number means. Maybe that's the number of the lighter, or maybe that's when BIC was made. I have no clue. But overall, it really seems to be a pretty simple lighter. On the bottom, it is clear, and you can see the fluid kind of flowing. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but I can see it. Let's see. But I can, yeah, you can see it a little bit, but I can see it in real life, in person kind of thing. I don't know if the camera really picks it up all that good. But yeah, I think without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and try to see what the flame is like. So how big is the flame? The flame is surprisingly big for the size, although holding it is actually kind of a struggle because it's such a small lighter. I can definitely feel the heat a lot more. That's one of my main complaints with the BIC lighter is that, or with the clipper lighter, is that your hand is just so clean, so near the flame, is that it really just heats up super fast. So you can't really keep it on the lighter setting. You can't really keep the flame going for super long. And the metal does heat up very quickly, which makes sense because, as said, it is a smaller lighter. That is not really too big of an issue with a big BIC lighter like this. Of course, this BIC lighter is out, so I can't do that. Although I just noticed something interesting. It says 1132 on this one, where it says 1142 on this one. So maybe it's the model number. Maybe that's what the number is on this. Maybe it's the model number. And I'm just going to go ahead and try to show y'all real quick. It won't focus because my phone is really bad at doing macro stuff. But I tried to get it to focus, and it says 1142, and then it says 1132 on this one. So very interesting, I will be completely honest. But I think without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and try to get a cigarette lit up, see how it smokes, see what the taste is overall, and go ahead and get it going, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get it. Today, as said, I think I mentioned this earlier in the video that I'm going to be smoking a 555 Gold, and well, talking to y'all a little bit about that. So yeah, without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and get this lit up with the BIC Slim Flick and see how it is. Let's go to y'all. So right off the bat, taste is not as bitter as a clipper lighter, for sure. A clipper lighter uses butane, and butane has a more bitter taste. Whereas BIC, they use their own lighter fluid, I personally believe. I do believe they use their own lighter fluid. I don't believe they use butane. There are BIC lighters that do use butane. This is not one of them, though. This is a pre-packaged one that you cannot refill. You cannot refill this lighter, which is another problem I have with it, especially when compared to a clipper lighter like this, where you can refill it. That red dot on the bottom, you can refill right there. You cannot refill this, even though you can see the refill port in the bottom where they refilled it. You cannot refill this after you buy it. Although, well, you can. It's just kind of a pain. And you're certainly not meant to. Overall, though, there is definitely less of a bitter taste from this lighter right off the bat than a clipper lighter, which is honestly much appreciated. And the flame is of decent size. I will be completely frank. For the lighter size, the flame is of decent size. It's not a tiny flame. That's been one of my main complaints with BIC lighters. Some of them, for some reason, they always have small flames. I don't really understand why, but it's very annoying, especially when you're trying to light a cigarette in wind. When it has a small flame, it just goes out so much quicker, and it goes out so much easier. So it is quite annoying, but I'm glad to see that this lighter does not have a small flame, and I don't know what it is about some BICs, but some of them just do be having small flames in my personal opinion, and this is not one of them. There are really no complaints. My main complaint about this lighter, I think, is the ergonomics. The ergonomics of this lighter are simply not really for my type of hands, although, as said, if you have smaller hands, if you're a slightly smaller person than me, then I think it might be better optimized for you. This ciggy is absolutely fantastic, though. No complaints on my behalf. I absolutely love how this cigarette looks as well. Just the 555 Golds right there with the State Express above it. It's just such a satisfying look kind of thing, and I absolutely love how it looks. Such a fancy look. But overall, my general thoughts on the lighter, I would much rather buy a normal size BIC lighter than this. I don't really see what the usage is on this besides for people that have smaller hands. I can't see why they really made this kind of thing. It's really not all that smaller. Let's go ahead and compare. In size, this is supposed to be I believe a 3-inch lighter with 3/4 of an inch. So this lighter is supposed to be 3 inches tall with 3/4 of an inch in length, I believe it is. And this lighter, I believe, is a full inch and then 4 inches. So it is about 1.5 inches smaller overall. And really, the size comparison is very little. We can't really, there's not really that big of a size difference kind of thing. I don't really see what they were going with this lighter. It doesn't really make any sense to me for them to make a lighter that's just slightly smaller, except for ergonomics. That's the main reason, in my personal opinion. I get what they're doing with the BICs, like the BIC Mini kind of thing, the really tiny one. I get that kind of thing. I hate BIC Mini. I'm going to be doing a review on that in hopefully a couple weeks or something like that. But I don't really get it kind of thing. I don't really get why they would make a lighter that's just slightly smaller. I get what they're doing with the BIC Mini, kind of like pocket space kind of thing. If you have small pockets, you want a smaller lighter kind of thing. I don't really get with this one. I think it's just another variety for them to add, probably. Just, I don't really understand it. As said, my main complaint with BIC lighters is that it has the child-proofing on it, which is very annoying. I don't really like child-proofing, but since BIC lighters are generally bought by people who, well, have children possibly, BIC lighters are my parents' favorite whenever they're buying candles or something like that for a birthday. They always buy a BIC lighter. They never really buy anything else, and they certainly never buy a clipper. It's really only smokers that buy clippers, so they know children aren't going to be using them. But with this one, these are typically, in my personal opinion, in my experience as a kid, these are just shoved in the kitchen cabinet or shoved in some cabinet or something like that. And if a kid is going through there, they want to make sure the kid is going to have just a little bit of trouble burning themselves. So it does make sense, but it is annoying for smokers like us, you know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, at least, I will be removing the child-proofing after this video, although I don't have a knife or anything on me currently, so I won't be doing it during this video. Maybe I'll make a video on how to remove the BIC child-proofing. I don't know. If that's something y'all are interested in, let me know. But, yeah. Overall, though, the cigarette, overall, the taste of the lighter fluid is very much, I personally prefer the taste of BIC lighter fluid over clipper lighter fluid. Oh my goodness. My dog is over here. She's outside with me right now, and she's wiping her butt on the porch. I cannot believe this. Smokey, why are you wiping your butt on the porch? I cannot believe this. So immature of her. So immature. But, yeah. Personally, I prefer the taste of BIC lighter fluid over clipper lighter fluid, which is butane, as said. I don't know exactly what BIC uses for lighter fluid. I think it's just generic lighter fluid that they probably make themselves, so any BIC lighter fluid you see is probably the lighter fluid they put in this. The taste overall is a lot less bitter than clipper lighter fluid, so I do actually prefer it personally. If I'm given the choice between a clipper and a BIC, I'm going to pick the clipper just because I prefer clippers. I prefer the ergonomics. I prefer being able to take the stuff out of here, which obviously you cannot do with a BIC. You cannot take out the flint to pack it down, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. And overall, though, for taste, if I was to pick any lighter for taste, I would definitely pick a BIC lighter, although matches are greater overall. Let's be completely honest here. Matches taste absolutely fantastic. Man, this cigarette is really wiping me out right now. I don't know what it is, but it is making me tired as hell. But that's pretty much my opinion on the BIC Slim Flick. Not really too much of a great lighter in my personal opinion. Will I use it until it dies? Yes, for sure. I always use my lighters until they die. I'm not just going to let it sit or anything like that. I am a cheap person myself. I don't like buying expensive lighters because I always tend to lose them. Although I do plan on doing a Zippo review, hopefully very, very soon. But overall, the BIC Slim Flick, definitely a good lighter if you have smaller hands. If you need a smaller ergonomics, definitely pick it up. But other than that, just get the normal BIC kind of thing. That's my personal opinion. You get more lighter fluid for the same price, and it's just a better deal overall in my personal opinion. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and smoke some more of my cigarette. Really no complaints on my behalf, though. The cigarette is absolutely fantastic day. Cannot complain. It is an absolutely beautiful day. It's currently about 75 degrees, and there are really no complaints on my personal behalf. It is a beautiful, beautiful day out here, and no complaints on my behalf. I hate my fit today, but I gotta go change it after this video. I sat down to record the video, and I was like, man, my fit is just not it. But I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's like noticeably bad, which is why I didn't talk about it at the beginning of this video, because usually I'm like hella anxious about my outfits kind of thing. I always be trying to look good no matter what. And today, it just ain't it. It just ain't it. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. But other than that, it's been an absolutely fantastic day. Just got up like an hour ago, and it is absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I will be completely frank. A little bit of a lazy day today. No complaints from no complaints in my opinion. But yeah, overall, the BIC Slim Flick, I don't know how to really rate it kind of thing. It is very comparable to the normal BIC, both in taste, in size, and ergonomics. It's very comparable. So there's really not much to say about it. I'm probably just going to rate it a little bit lower than the BIC. Personally, I said I would much rather just get a normal BIC than the BIC Slim Flick. But overall, it's really not that bad. But I think I'm going to go ahead and take the last hit. I hope you guys are enjoying the video, and I hope you guys are enjoying your day. And yeah, let's get it, y'all. Man, man, man. I think that was the last hit. I tasted some filter on that hit, so I think that's the last hit I'm going to be taking. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram and my book in the description down below. Highly recommend you guys check both those out. Moki, stop wiping your butt on the porch. Oh my goodness. But yeah, until the next one, guys, stay safe and peace. Also, go check out my merch. If you guys have made it this far, go check out my merch, of course. But until the next one, stay safe and peace. Have a great one out there, and stay safe, yo.